and it's been years and years in the making here. You and I meeting and chatting and connecting at different events. And gosh, I think it was a super node. We had dinner in 2022
Yep.
randomly at a table. And so here we are now.
Oh,
And so I know that you've got a presentation that you want to share around how you've taken templates and processes and made them into opportunities that have helped you recruit and attract dozens and dozens of new partners. And so I brought up on the screen something that you can jump into
yep.
and share a little bit about yourself and give everybody in the audience right now another version of the same theme is, right? Unlocking partnerships as tiny teams with templates and tools that help you get the results in your job as a technology and app partner manager.
Cool. Thank you, Justin. I just want to kind of tell everyone what my story here is at Unanet. And then I know right behind me is one of the vendors and products that we use pretty extensively here at Unanet. I was struck by something that Greg said about small teams are usually managing between 20 and I think he had said 100 partners. I manage 90. So I felt every bit of what he was talking about. So just to give you a little bit of my story, my name is Rachel Collie. I always give a little bit of a personal side note to myself. So that way, if you reach out to me, we have something besides business to talk about. But I'm currently the director of technology partnerships at a company called Unanet, company that probably most of you don't know about unless you work in the federal government contracting space or with architects and engineers. I have a bit of a unique reporting line in that I report directly to our chief innovation officer, which is a bit different than where I used to report. And we can talk about that throughout this presentation as well. I've built several technology partner programs from the ground up, really trying to align myself with having our program align itself so that we are aligned with our M&A and exit strategy so we can successfully exit based on the strategy of our organization. What I love about technology partnerships is the exciting product lines and exciting features that they build out. I work in ERP and CRM, probably the two most boring product lines out there. So I love working with some of the technology partner programs that we are bringing on board here at Unanet. Just a little bit of personal note about me. I am a solo mom, received a kidney transplant back in June. So lots of exciting things I can talk to you guys about. Lover of all books, whether it be historical fiction or some other genre that gets me out of my rut. And I'm forever an Iowa State Cyclone. And up on the screen, I have pictures of my daughter Elsa, who turns 5 at the end of the month, and our amazing dog Ollie.
You have
So
a
a little.
fantastic story.
Thank you. A little bit about Unanet, kind of give you some perspectives. I am a team of one within this big orchestration of Unanet with about 400 employees. We are $125 million in ARR. It continue to grow every year based on either organic growth or via some acquisitions that we've been making throughout the market. We are also multi-product, and multi-product means I stretch my interests out really thin. We have two ERP program platforms that we support for each of our verticals that we have within Unanet. We have we have an asset inventory manufacturing tracking platform that we have acquired and integrated into our GovCon ERP. And then we also are bringing other AI forward acquisitions to our portfolio to really support where our customers are going with their AI strategy. We are also multi-vertical. And this is one of my fun parts about working with Unanet, in that I know a little bit about everything, but not a lot about everything here at Unanet, and that I'm stretched across a lot of things. So we have two verticals, one being for federal government contractors doing project-based, service-based work. So our customers do not build the rocket ships. They do all the maintenance. They do the time and materials type work to assemble drones for Ukraine. They are doing IT consulting services for DoD, and they're also providing nurses as an example for the VA. So you can imagine right now that that entire industry is in flux right now. The other industry that we support is architecture, engineering, construction. Again, this is another vertical that's a bit in flux right now as they figure out their paths with a lot of uncertainty that's going on in the market, whether it be interest rates or projects coming out of the federal government. And this multi-vertical strategy here at Unanet also means there's two separate general managers that cover those business lines. And this is where, again, I get stretched a bit thin and pulled in different directions. A lot of people refer to me as Stretch Armstrong, if you remember that from when you were a kid. So we have one general manager that wants us to be friendly with everybody. That definition of friendly is to be determined, but typically he wants us to partner with everybody. And that's a lot of partners to manage. Then we have one general manager that is very laser focused on his strategy, and that is to grow up market and use our partners to help us figure out how we grow up market and get into more enterprise-sized deals for our ERP and CRM platforms. Support about 4,000 customers, and I have 90 partners and integrations that are under my management. Um, so as I look at that report, as I look at what we do here at Unanet, with my reporting line in our Chief Innovation Officer, I support product, I support new acquisitions, I support technology partnerships, and I also support our M&A strategy as we move forward. That's a lot that I cover out.
And I think that's really important to bring up is that how many of you who are teams of one are responsible for multiple programs, multiple partner types, and how do you manage it all, right? And so Stretch Armstrong here is going to walk us through a little bit more around those templates, those processes, and those approaches that help people who are in similar chaotically, like Joshua is saying, trying to do so much with so little. And so I'm really excited to see what you have next.
Yeah. And I will say that I think that we talk a lot about keeping the lights on. I think that when you're a small program or a small team managing large program, I really equate it to, are you an architect or a builder? And I think that's where we get into the strategy versus the tactical. And again, we'll talk about as we go forward how we're doing that here. And one of the big things that we've done is that we really focused on how we bucket our technology partners. Because while we want to say we want to partner with everybody, everybody really doesn't fit our strategy. And so, one, we want to look at those technology partners that expand our offerings. And I think it's really important that if you're a technology partner program manager of one, managing a large program, you have a very specific buckets in which your technology partners fit, because it is okay to say no. And I think sometimes we forget that. And so for me, if you come to us and potentially want to partner with Unanet and you don't fit in one of these buckets, we're probably not going to partner with you, because I don't have the bandwidth, the resources, or the time to focus on this partnership and make sure it goes forward. I think anybody on this call who partners with Unanet knows I say the same thing over and over again. I do not want any integrations, any partnerships that just sit up on a shelf. We spend too much time, effort, and resources to be able to do that. So the first thing we look at is, do you help us expand our offerings? And the best example I give for that is that when we look at our ERP, is it something that we are not going to build ourselves? And a really great example of that is payroll. We are never going to build a payroll solution within Unanet. And so we partner with the best of breed payroll providers out there in the market, like ADP, Paylocity, Paycor, Paychex, because we know that is where our customers are going. And we want to be able to support those integrations between an ERP and a payroll. For us, those are table stakes in the market. We also want to look at joint customer need. How many joint customers do we have that we can currently support with an integration that helps us sell more and also make us more sticky? And when I say joint customer need, I'm not always talking about the count. I'm talking about percentages. How many customers, what's the percentage of our potential partners' customer base? Is that within our base? Or are they bringing to the table one or two highly strategic, highly named customers that we need to continue to foster and grow that relationship with? And the third thing we look at is AI forward. This is a really big strategy for Unanet going forward in 2025. And the biggest reason for that is, if you think about one of the big industries with which we work, it's government contractors. They are highly audited. They have a lot of compliance requirements they have to meet, and they know they need an AI strategy. The challenge for them is that we work in the world of finance, and a lot of individuals that are highly compliant, highly complex, do not want AI touching their finances. So we are starting to partner with other companies in the market that are AI forward, that can help support our partners or help support our customers. And a really great example of that is proposal automation, AI automation, that was specifically built for government contractors as they build out their proposals to go after pursuits within the federal government. And we've now taken that acquisition we've made, we've now renamed it Proposal AI, so it works with our architecture, engineering, construction companies. And so we want to look at everybody and we want to try to see how we can make it work. But if you're an industry or a software company coming to us, if you don't fit into one of those three buckets, and those are pretty broad buckets to be quite fair, they're not truly narrow, we typically won't partner with you. And I appreciate all the comments that you guys are putting in there. I can't see them all, but I appreciate all the comments that are going in there.
Yeah, it sounds like exclusion and filtering is one of the key elements to your success so far of recruiting and activating profitable partnerships.
Yep. Has to be profitable, can't sit on the shelf. And I will say, I think all of us run into this, that no matter how well you partner with individuals, there are always going to be some partnerships that go dormant. And it's not because of anything we've done, it's because they don't want to put in the work to be a good partner. And so we do have some dormant partners. We do know that those dormant partners will pop their heads up out of their hole every once in a while and say, take care of me, take care of me. And as we look at the strategy of Unanet, we've got to figure out how much time we put in a dormant when they pop their head up, and how much time we focus on the real strategically forward focusing partnerships that we do have. So before I kind of jump into how we're solving problems here at Unanet and the partner program with technology, I just put up a few of the challenges that we face here within our organization that I'm sure that affect many of you on this call. And it's how we balance strategy and tactical execution is number one for us. I know some people refer to this as keeping the lights on. I look at it, are we focusing on being a builder of your strategy, or are you focusing on execution, which is the architect? And I think that we get really challenged as small teams as to how we balance that. Doing the execution is really easy because we have checklists we go off of. We can show management very quickly, hey, I did this, 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 and this. As a tactical perspective, I have a to-do list on my desk right now of things I got to get done today that are tactical, which take me away from the strategy. And so how do you balance all of those things? And we do that with some of the technology we use here at Unanet to manage those partnerships. Demonstrating value. I know that we hear this all the time. We've got to show value up within our executive suite. And how do you do that as a small team? I'm lucky in that I report to a C-level, which helps me tell the story. But then you've got to look at other ways to do that, whether it be reporting down to smaller areas within the organization that don't always hear about technology partnerships, like support, like consulting, like professional services. And how do you keep that conversation going about the value that 90 technology partners and integrations are bringing to Unanet as a whole? And then no matter how many partners we have under our belt already, we're constantly tasked with recruiting and retaining the right technology partners for Unanet. And I know everyone on this call is tasked with that. It's not about what you've done today. It's about what you're going to do tomorrow. So how do you recruit and retain the best technology partners and make sure you're all going forward? So I don't think our technology stack is any different than many of you on this call, but we have removed two of them and we'll talk about them in a second. I've removed a couple of them because I no longer wanted to be in spreadsheets. I hated them and I wanted out. So we've really focused on tools here at Unanet that help me as a team of one scale this program, manage this program, and get some repetitive tasks off my plate. So I know Crossbeam is something that many of us on this call use. This is a table stakes buy for us here at Unanet. We're at the point here at Unanet that if one more technology partner, potential partner says to me, hey, can we do some account mapping via spreadsheets? I want to immediately disconnect the Zoom call because I do not want to be in spreadsheets anymore, especially when it comes to account mapping. First of all, it is not secure, it is not time efficient, and it's typically out of date very, very quickly. So I like to hang up the Zoom call. So we use Crossbeam pretty extensively. We're getting ready to do some pretty heavy enablement for our sales teams over the next 2 weeks to get them more into using Crossbeam for sales. We feel like this is a game changer for us when it comes to working with our technology partners, especially our very large technology partners like Workday, Procore, is one of the other big partners with whom we work. I'm also a big advocate of PartnerPage. They have been a lifesaver for us when it comes to managing our website. As a team of one, I hated managing our integrations and partner website. It was the biggest drain of my time, and PartnerPage has taken that off my plate. And I'm always happy to talk to individuals about how we use PartnerPage. But the two that I've eliminated is spreadsheets and money.com. Monday.com are really great about tracking steps, tasks, and repetitive deals. But what Monday.com is not good about is managing things that run in parallel with each other. And I think everyone on this call who manages technology partnerships knows that we have a integrations and product piece of the house. We have a go-to-market parallel path that we run. And those two things can be done in tandem. And so what we have done here at Unanet is that we've made an investment in CoPort. And for us, this is really where spreadsheets meet the smart workflows that we're looking for. It's really one place for me to track everything. Gives me the ability to really slice and dice some information so that I can report to two very distinctive business lines, two very distinctive general managers, report on tasks, report on how many partners we have in each vertical, how many are dormant, and all those essential data points that we need. I can track revenue all day long in Salesforce, but CoPort is really giving me the ability to track what's important to the business outside of revenue so that I can report on it in a very efficient basis. So it's reduced some manual work. It lets me know the who and the what is working. And by the who, I mean which partner is working. And by the what task is working. What piece of our go-to-market is actually working and how we evaluate that. What I also really like about it is that it gives me really easy templates that I can customize to myself or configure to what we do here at Unanet. As Danny will tell you that when he and I first started working together, I probably had 100 tasks inside Monday.com that I was managing, and his templates allow me to manage that per partner or to the task level. It is also built to scale. While I say I manage 90 partners today, I actually have about 125 that are sitting inside CoPort because some are dormant, some are ones that we've decided we're not going to work with anymore, but it allowed me to store everything that I need within one system.
The thing I'm picking up on, what I love, and I never really thought about this until you said it, was there's a lot of tools out there designed to take spreadsheets away from the annoying aspects of our lives and workflows. But I never thought about, like, Crossbeam, for instance, helps remove spreadsheets as part of the account mapping process. But I never really thought about removing like Monday.com, which is not a tool for partner people. And like, you have to retrofit the way you work into an all-in-one design for everybody tool. And to no surprise, we're trying to solve today for all the tiny teams, powerful, giving power back to the individual. And so CoPort, which I recently discovered through a friend and then introduced me to Danny, I thought it'd be a good opportunity after talking to you a number of times and then getting introduced to Danny. What is CoPort? Like, how is it actually solving for the things that we're talking about? And maybe everybody who's looking for a better way to not just manage their account mapping part of their process, but then once you've got your accounts mapped and you've got deals and you've got active profitable partners, how are you managing the activities, tasks, and things along the way? And I think you did a fantastic job of talking about the pain points and problems and illuminating the potential opportunity for, if you've got spreadsheets or sticky notes, or even if you have a project management tool, maybe there's a better way that can make you more powerful as an individual. And so I'd love to bring Danny out right now and welcome him to the show. He is behind the scenes at CoPort. He helps run, manage, and build it. And I think he's been working with you for a number of years now to custom tune a program that works for technology partner programs and some of the other types of programs that you run and manage. And so let's welcome Danny, everybody, and give him a quick opportunity to share a little bit about himself and where he came from as a both partner manager and now a partner innovator.
Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, Rachel, um, I am fully indebted to everything that you've done and the opportunities and the conversations and everything that she shared around her family, her story, her life. It's truly powerful. And I've been so grateful for your friendship and the partnership really as well. And then of course, getting to build cohort based upon really tackling the same question that you've asked was, how do we figure this out? How do we scale? How do we grow? And how do we do more with the tiny teams that we are? So I'm so grateful for you and thank you again for
I
sharing
want to
today.
give a really quick aside how this conversation started with Danny, because he and I were just doing a regular networking call, just conversation about managing partners in general. And I showed him how I was living through hell in Monday.com and how I was managing 90 partners in 90 different boards, very separate, no way to report. That's how this conversation all got started with Monday.com hell. And taking my idea about how I wanted something more collaborative, something in one piece. Because I know for small teams, we get sucked into Monday.com because we probably have a professional services team that's already using it. And people are like, use Monday.com because it's free. And he got me out of that and into a platform, which I know he'll show you. This makes things much more efficient for me. And my number one goal is to be a great employee to Unanet, but to also be a great mom to my daughter. And I needed time back. And that's what a CoPort has allowed me to do, is get some time back. So I'm not working at night so much and I can focus on my daughter.
Let's show people how to get their time back to spend more with their kids through simplicity of project and task management.